Good morning, everybody. Saunders Strong, Ben Saunders here. Just wanted to talk about laddering up, leveling up, working your way up in life. I've had a pretty humbling experience the past, how long have I been chipping away? Been doing, probably the past 2 months, been doing a lot of short fasts and kind of beating around the bush on a longer fast, but I've been failing, right? And I made some videos about this. I've been posting on my Instagram a little bit about this, and just wanted to share some of the little things I've pulled from from my failures, right? These experiences I've been having. So, of course, in the beginning, I beat myself up because I set the expectation to go as long as I need to go. For those that don't know, I had the remnants of a fungal infection on my chest and jock itch, which are both fungal origins. So I've been trying some different stuff, but I know like the ultimate, the most high, the best way to get rid of it is through dry fasting or UT fasting, right? For those who know, they know. And anyway, so yeah, I've been trying some different stuff, but fasting is ultimately nature's healing, nature's operation table. So I've been doing 2 days and then going as far as 72, a little bit over that a couple of times, but just failing, right? And falling short. And I've done a 5-day before and a couple short 3-day dry fasts. So I know I can go longer. I know I have in the past, so I can again. But I guess I'm setting some unrealistic expectation for myself. So I keep failing. And I'm just like, okay, so let's come back and think about this. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and paraphrasing and expecting a different result. So I'm like, the last time I stopped, I was like, okay, this is it for a little while. We're going to have a break here and just digest and dissect why I keep failing on these fasts, right? So think about, okay, what's one of the main reasons? Well, I don't know what to do with myself when I have all this time, right? And I tie food, the thought of eating all the time and the act of eating all the time, to productivity and to ascension on goals and in life working towards stuff. So it's this whole reframe that I have to work with when I try to go on a long fast. It's like, fuck, what am I going to do with my time, right? So I inevitably just get bored, right? And then my demons start coming out. Then I'm like, oh, I could eat. This would be great. Even though in my mind, I'm like, I'm not stopping until this fungal infection's gone. Yet I somehow talk myself out of it. So I think it's important to be realistic. I'm not trying to be light on myself. I want to make that clear. I'm not trying to sugarcoat the fact that I fucking gave in earlier. I know there's that school of thought where I could be like, you're a pussy, you've gone farther before, you can go farther. But there's a point in time when that type of self-talk doesn't serve you in learning from where you made a mistake. So I'm setting smaller goals now. I've stopped fasting for now. I probably will have to come back to it to get rid of this. If I'm in my gut, I feel like it's gonna have to happen. So I've been doing iodine internally. So I've been taking iodine, Lugol's iodine. I've been following a protocol with CMOS, and I feel like my hair got all itchy one day, and it's like I think my immune system's being woken up because of that. And I'm also putting it on my skin, the povidone iodine, which is like a different form, and I'm putting that right on the rashes. And there's not as much on my chest, but there's still a little bit left on my my groin. It's looks like this, right? And I don't know if you guys can see in the video, there's a little circle right there. Kind of hard to tell. But I'm pretty sure I saw that show up one day. I'm like, fuck, this stuff is spreading, right? So I freaked out, started fasting again. Of course, that was short-lived, right? I'm super impulsive. So I don't really have a script for these videos. I just kind of go off the top, probably a bad thing. But so I've been learning a lot about just setting an expectation. So maybe the next time I go into one, instead of like thinking, oh, I'm gonna have to go 21 days, I'll just like be like, okay, we're just gonna aim for 96 hours, right? And knowing deep down that I'm gonna probably have to go farther, but I'm gonna aim for that. And then my mind's like, okay, I can get through it. That's just 4 days, right? You know, I can get through this. And then when I get there, and if it's still there, then I keep going and I trick myself to go a few more days, and then a few more days, and then a few more days. And that way the perception of the goal isn't as overwhelming, right? So you have these little goals that you set and you're like, you hit that and you're like, okay, I'm still not where I want to be, so I got to go a little bit more and a little bit more. And you could apply that to other things in life, but I'm just using fasting because that has been really difficult for me. And I'm just using that as a kind of a reference point for just this kind of learning experience I've been having, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So like laddering up, always making sure you're like, okay, be fucking realistic. Be like, okay, I want to do, you know, I want to lose 30 pounds this month. Well, have you dieted before? Have you ever tried to get leaner before? Do you know how to work out? Do you know like how to put a program together? Right? So you got to be realistic. So maybe it's like, okay, I want to lose 2 pounds a week. That's a pretty realistic goal. I want to lose 3 pounds a week. That's a pretty realistic goal, right? So you aim to do that, right? And just the fasting has been such a revealer for me of my own shortcomings that I wanted to share that with everybody else. Like there's different levels to everything in life, right? To making more money. I'm the last person you want to talk to about financial advice, but I've done decent for myself with my career, and I've made a little bit of money doing some coaching online and stuff, but it's not something that, you know, I'm an expert at yet, and I'm fully open to admitting that, right? I've worked with some people. I've worked with about 12 people, I think, 12 clients. So anyways, yeah, I just wanted to share the importance of laddering up, setting yourself a realistic goal, and don't beat yourself up if you fall short, because it's still a learning experience. You still learned from this failure, right? So like I was pretty hard on myself because I had this feeling that I can go longer, but mentally I wasn't ready or prepared for the noise of fasting. That volume gets turned right up on your thoughts, right? So it was still a learning curve for me. And, you know, I might have to go back to it like I mentioned earlier. I feel like I'm going to have to, but I'm hoping that iodine can get rid of this, at least for now. And I know there's some dues I have to pay with that. And I really want to go on a longer fast and explore the depths of consciousness, my mind. I just think there's so much more to us than just fucking eating food and working towards goals all the time. It's like we're so spiritually devolved, a lot of us, me included, that I don't think we're not always ready for what fasting and doing a long fast or going on, like some people do plant medicine journeys, right? Or there's different ways to get to a similar result. But for me, fasting is like one of the most high. So one of the craziest things you could do to tap in, right? And yeah, I'm kind of rambling now, so I'll wrap this video up, guys. The importance of, just coming back to the beginning of the video, the importance of being patient with yourself, setting realistic goals that you know you can hit, and then you go a little bit more, a little bit more, and a little bit more, a little bit more, so you don't beat yourself up too bad if you do fail, and then you can restart and try again. And if you're, for example, if you're trying to do a long fast and you've never done one, then just do a day. Geez, if you find that's hard, just skip one meal and then 2 meals. And people think, I'll say this, myself included, I'm gung-ho. I want to go fucking guns a-blazing towards everything I do. And it either works or it's like I crash and burn. And with fasting, you're humbled really quickly. Really quickly, right? And it took so long for us to get ill and have these health issues, and then we want to get out of them overnight. And like, if I think about my past, I actually did always ladder up. Like I did some shorter fasts. I remember I did a feeling incredible the first time I did a 48 when I got into ketosis, because I was like, okay, so I need to eat low carb for a few days. So I was like, dropped the carbs for a couple days, ate just steak and eggs and all that shit, right? Oh boy, I've learned a lot and since then. And I would go into this fast. I felt amazing. I was like, oh my God, I got a taste of this, right? And then I would just do, for a while, I was doing like a 44 and 4 routine where I'd eat in a 4-hour window and then I'd fast for like almost 2 days. And I was doing that while I was working. And everybody's like, you're fucking crazy. I was like smashing 2 pounds of beef and some rice in one meal. And then I'd have a fruit meal. And then I can't remember if I was training in the fasted state or in between the meals. Anyways, it was nuts. But I got a taste of fasting. I did a 48. And then I started getting into a little bit of dry fasting. My first one was like 63 hours, 62 hours. And then I ended up making it, I did a couple 72s. And then I did a 5-day water fast. I was going for 7 days, but I made it 5 days, despite my mom cooking all this amazing food. And here we are now, right? So I had this fungal infection. I hadn't done a 5-day. That was a couple years ago. I did a 4-day a few years ago. 2 years ago, I did a 4-day. And then I've done in between all that time, I've done some shorter, like 36, a bunch of 24s, some 48s, a few just shy of 72s and a few 72s in between. So I'm kind of at a point now where I'm like an intermediate again, like a beginner really, quite honestly. So I have to be realistic and I just know that I might not get to the fast I have to do where I'm going to heal everything. I'm determined, but clearly not enough. My why isn't strong enough yet to get through a longer fast, which is frustrating, but hey, what do you fucking do, right? It's a learning curve. So I'm going to wrap this up, guys. Just if you're struggling with goals, just set yourself a small goal, work on that, and then do the next thing. And then work on that and do the next thing. And I'm trying to take my own fucking advice here. I don't want to be a fraud, right? So am I going to do another long fast? Am I going to try to do another long fast? I don't know for the near future. I might give myself a couple of weeks here just to calm down, get the mind still. Calm down my nervous system, get the cortisol levels down again, and come back to it. Maybe, I don't know. If I can get rid of it with the iodine, then yeah. But I feel like there's work to be done. So be kind to yourself, guys. If you're working on stuff that's hard, be realistic, be kind. And life's a fucking long time. You got your whole life to work on this stuff, so chip away. There's only 24 hours in a day. It's all about how we spend those hours, right, in that time. So day by day, getting better. Everybody's going to get better. Thanks for checking in.